Now let us begin with MAS 015, that is Operational Dimensions of Education. And here, first question is, explain the meaning and type of peer group. Discuss the role of peer group in education of children. So the answer could be in this way. Peer group is a group of people who are all of the same age and social position. It is a social group consisting of people who are equal in such respects as age, education, and social status, and even they share a common interest and background. Students learn a great deal by explaining their ideas to others and by participating in the activities in which they can learn from their peers. They develop skills in organizing and planning learning activities, working collaboratively with others, giving and receiving feedback, and evaluating their own learning. The types of peer groups could be in this way: peer pairs, peer groups, peer cliques, and peer crowds. So, a split frame of two illustrated characters in nature begins in early childhood. It is the peer pair. It begins in early childhood. This peer may be a cousin or a neighbor of similar age group. School is also a time when romantic peer-pair relationships develops and children may feel attracted to other students. Now, what is peer groups? Peer groups can be made up of friendship, or they could be a group of acquaintances that have a common interest, as playing a particular online game, going to a youth club, or playing in a sports team. Now, what is a clique? Peer clique. It is a smaller group of friends that spends a lot of time together and often don't welcome others into the group. A clique could form between a group of people who don't fit into the other groups within the school. Now, what is peer crowds? It is a gathering of so many individuals that it is impossible to know everyone personally. It is formed to pursue a shared interest or purpose. A peer crowd can feel and function like a community with similar likes, beliefs, or convictions. Now, what is the peer's role in education or in learning? So, peer groups have a significant influence on psychological and social adjustment for group individuals. Peer groups provide the perspective outside the individual's viewpoints. Members inside peer groups learn to develop relationships with others in social system. So, peers becomes important social represents as well as reference for teaching members, customs, social norms, and different ideologies. Peer groups also serve as a venue for teaching members gender roles, and through this, group members learn about the sex differences, social and cultural expectations. Peer groups provide support for children and teens as they assimilate into the adult society, decreasing dependence on the parents and increasing feeling of self-sufficiency and connecting with a much larger social network. So we can say peer groups provide an influencing social setting in which group norms are developed and enforced through socialization process that promote within the group similarity. So peer groups cohesion is determined and maintained by the factors as communication, group consensus, and group conformity concerning attitude and behavior. Therefore, it is quite evident that peer groups plays a vital role in the strengthening of education. Now let us see the second question of MES 015, and it is: describe how physical resources of an educational institution can be managed to optimize institutional performance. And the answer to this question could be in this way. In educational institutions, the members need to understand the impact of resources in enriching the system of education. In order to achieve the educational goals and augment, it is necessary to manage the utilization of resources in an effectual manner. Important resources: teaching learning resources, human resources, financial resources, and physical resources. So here, physical resources are the elements of the environmental conditions of the educational institutions. These include playground, library, laboratory, technology, infrastructure, buildings, grounds, etc. Management of resources require considerable skills. Resources have to be looked after properly. By managing the educational institute's resources effectively, the head will achieve easier access. He will achieve the curriculum objectives and higher goals of administration. To accomplish greater satisfaction amongst the pupils and staff, the school or the college head must plan, anticipate, consult, supervise, and act in a timely manner to ensure that all the required physical resources are identified, developed, and fully used in a responsible manner. All the resources should be identified and used appropriately. School buildings should be well planned, spaciously, functionally, and with pleasing architecture features. Now, classroom. Classroom is the backbone of any school physical infrastructure. Every educational institute should have adequate number of classrooms, and every classroom should have a pleasant look. Walls should be painted by some light colors, and rooms should be carefully decorated. New charts and paintings should be fixed on the walls. Front wall should have a blackboard at appropriate height. Location of rooms should be airy and lighted naturally on the failure of power. Library. Library is a counterpart of educational physical resources. Library rooms should be located in such a place where students are not getting disturbed by noise. It should have textbooks, workbooks, reference books, fiction and non-fiction books with all special topics and related pamphlets, clippings, maps, periodicals, etc. Laboratory. Every educational institute needs its own laboratory. At +2 stages, a school needs biology, physics, chemistry and computer lab. The physics lab should be equipped by optical, electrical, thermodynamical, mechanical instruments. Chemistry lab should be equipped with different types of solutions, salts, chemicals, components, etc. Biology lab has to be equipped by slides, microscopes, skeletons and many other specimens. Now, administrative block. It should also be well planned. The leadership and service functions are done in admin block. So the school office should be centrally located so as to serve as a good coordination center, easily accessible to visitors, teachers and students as well. Staff room should have lockers for teachers. so that the reference books can be guarded. And playground must be spacious, green and equipped with required play stuff. Now let us see the third question, this last question of this assignment MES 015, that is operational dimensions of education. And the question is, identify a topic of your choice from the secondary school curriculum and prepare a lesson plan on it. So here you can make the lesson plan in this way. You need to begin with the, I'm just depicting a very simple and the most commonly used lesson plan to you, okay, which you can design short duration. So you need to begin with the left portion of your page, A4 size blank page or the ruling page, and you need to begin with the name, your name of course, okay, teacher's name, and then the class, whichever class you're teaching, it is 11th or 12th, whatever, subject, Hindi, English, Math, Science, SST, whatever. Then right hand side you can come with the topic, and then below to the topic you need to mention the date, and below to the date you need to mention the duration for whatever time you are supposed to take the class. It is of 30 minutes, 35 minutes, 45 minutes, 1 hour or whatever. Alright. Second point, you need to mention the general objectives. These general objectives, like for what you are teaching the content, okay, whichever portion is that. So accordingly, so I can't tell you as to what is being designed, what was designed by me earlier, okay. So I can't tell you accordingly, because the subject and the topic I had chosen, it was already totally different, and what you are going to choose, that will be different, okay. So here you need to keep in mind, like you need to write in this way to enable the students to enrich their active and passive whatever condition . So in what way you are enabling them, okay, that point you need to mention in the objectives, okay, to develop their skills, to develop their knowledge, performance, aptitude in this way. Nextly will come the specific objectives. That was the general objectives concerned to the topic or the subject. Specific objects will include the three things mainly, that is the knowledge, understanding and application, okay. So here you need to mention these three parameters, that is the knowledge, understanding and application with concern to your subject and the topic, okay. Alright, and then next will come the teaching aids or the materials, whatever material you are going to use, with charts, models, flashcards, blackboard, whiteboard, chalk, table, duster, marker, whatever, okay, pointer and all, these all things will be included in the teaching aids. And then the next your step will come the previous knowledge. Here you need to mention this thing as per your topic and the subject, that some knowledge or some idea regarding that particular topic was already there with the students, okay, they already knew about that thing, something at least they had some idea at least about that topic or the subject that you need to mention. Alright. And then you need to mention the presentation, where you need to make a table, okay, and in that table you need to include some very basic points like teaching point, first heading, okay, first column, second will be the pupil teacher activity, okay, pupil teacher, who is the pupil teacher, it is you, alright. And then the next column will come with the students activity, what will be the response or the type of activity or task they are adopting and how they are reflecting their response, that will be included within the students activity column. And then the next column will be for the methods or the devices you are using, okay, it is textbook or it is drill method or whatever. And then the last column will be for blackboard work, where you need to just paste up the picture or a small black paper, black sheet, okay, where you need to mention what you have, what activities you have given to them, okay. This is the one page is devoted for this full page table. Alright, next page and the next heading will be the blackboard summary, Okay, that here you need to write in gist whatever summary is there with concern to your topic and your subject. And then the next heading will be the writing and supervision. Here you will be mentioning here that how you supervise the class for that particular duration, for that particular lecture. Okay, next heading will be the recapitulation. Here you need to mention what all things you made them to learn, what all things you taught to them, what all questions were asked by you within the class time. Okay, those all things, those are questions particularly you need to mention here in recapitulation heading. And the next comes the home assignment. What task you are providing them according to your topic and according to the lecture you have given to that particular duration. That concern to that only you need to give the home assignment, and this all should include 2-3 points max. Okay, next will come the remark. Okay, and this remark space need to be vacant, because this remark heading will be obviously filled up by the school head or the institutional in charge, whosoever is the education institute in charge, that will he or she will fill it. And then at the last will be the sign, your sign. Okay, and at the next corner will be the in charge sign. Okay, so here comes the ending of the lesson plan, and this was the way to make the lesson plan. Alright, wish you all the best.
Alright.